Hi Pisces and Pisces Rising, here is your horoscope for July 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, we have kind of a weird month ahead. This is because we're going to have 4 planets in retrograde, including your ruler Neptune right here. And we'll have Mercury retrograde in the 6th house here, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But we have Uranus leaving Taurus for the first time in like 84 years and entering Gemini in your 4th house of home, feeling, and foundation. So many of you may be considering moving this month. And so this is going to be a very important month for many of you. So if you're a Pisces rising or a Pisces sun sign, this is a very general overview of what's going on. And this is based on Western tropical astrology using the whole house system. So again, it's very basic because your birth chart could be completely different here, and you have different alignments, and every birthday under the sign is going to be different. So it's not going to always be 100%. So again, I'm just giving you a general overview of what I see here. So let's get started and let's dive in a little deeper, okay? So we start off the month with the sun now going through Cancer, which is normal this time of the year, but we have Jupiter in Cancer as well. Now, Cancer does rule emotions and feelings, but it also rules real estate. So this is very creative energy for many of you. Jupiter will stay in this house for about a year. And so this month, you are really considering anything to do with real estate matters, anything pertaining to your children, because the 5th house rules children, and so does Cancer. And maybe creative projects, creative endeavors. Maybe you're traveling and vacationing to see family members in other cities or states. That is very possible here. But whatever it is, you should be happier or trying to have more fun. Maybe you find yourself being drawn to the water, a lake, a river, an ocean. And so this is all going to be very favorable as we start off the month. So I say, absolutely enjoy yourself as these changes occur. But on the 4th, we have Venus entering Gemini. It's the 4th into the 5th. So here is Venus entering Gemini. Now, Venus in Gemini is very chatty. Venus in Gemini is very flirty. Venus in Gemini is overthinking things, okay, but unable to make a decision. Here it is in the 4th house of home, stability, foundation, feelings. And so Venus going through this 4th house for about 3.5 to 4 weeks this time. At the end of the month, it changes signs again. It'll have you questioning everything about your current residence or your family dynamics or important conversations with other family members. And so this is going to heighten a lot of possibilities here. And again, it's all possibilities. And so that's going to really affect many of you. Do I want to move? Do I want to change? Do I want to paint? It's going to be really a little unstable with this energy because Venus and Gemini can be very unstable in the sense that it's not like Taurus where it's stable and steady. Venus and Gemini likes to just go from one thing to the next. It's like a butterfly. Okay? Now, the same day in the afternoon going into the 5th, Neptune, your ruler, begins to go retrograde. And there it is right there. And there it is in stationary position. This is the 2nd house of income and values. So with Venus in Gemini and now Neptune going retrograde, you're questioning everything, possibly having to do with financial matters or investments. For instance, let's say you wanted to sell a house and you're thinking about all the possibilities, how much could I make? How much do I need to pay off? Do I need to take care of other stuff? Financial matters are absolutely going to be on your mind in the next 5 months because Neptune's going to go retrograde. So creative endeavors from the past may resurface, different ways of making money or investments may resurface in the next 5 months. And so this is going to really have you thinking about everything between Neptune and Venus there. And they will be making an alignment as well this month around the 7th or 8th. And speaking of the 7th, here we have Uranus entering Gemini. Now, this really amps up the mental capacity here because Uranus in Gemini likes to think outside the box. It does not like thinking in a normal way or a conservative way like it did in Taurus. Here, it just likes to do things wild, surprising, rebellious. And again, it's unstable. It's very unstable energy. So for the next 7 years, as Uranus makes its way through this 4th house, it's going to shake things up in your home life, with your feelings, family dynamics, neighborhoods, anything to do with real estate matters. These are all going to be on the table as Uranus makes its way through this fourth house. You may be moving several times in the next 7 years. That's the kind of unstable energy that Uranus brings to the table, because it just wants to try new things and see where it goes. Nothing wrong with that. If that works for you, by all means, embrace it and see where it takes you. But this is the beginning stages of a lot of those changes that you'll be implementing. Now, the full moon is going to be in Capricorn, and all full moons bring things to light that are hidden. And here it is in Capricorn in the 11th house. So this has to do with a community. It has to do with friendships, acquaintances. It has to do with your long-term goals. Are you in alignment with what you really want? And that's what this full moon is bringing up. It's saying, do I need to let go of that goal that I really wanted to achieve, but I can't, or it's just not working for me? Or maybe you have achieved that goal and it's time to move on to something else. That's what this Capricorn full moon is going to bring to light. Could have something to do with a job, could have something to do with a business, it could have something to do with your future in general. I would advise not making any major life-changing decisions, because this is a very tricky month. I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen, but it's 4 planets retrograde, and Uranus in Gemini. It's going to have you overthinking everything. So just keep that in mind. Now, Saturn also goes retrograde in that second house of income and values. So once again, we're highlighting the energy of financial matters, investments, and what you believe in. Now, unfortunately, Saturn is not like Neptune. Saturn is heavy-handed. Saturn is restrictive. Saturn worries a lot. And so now we have these two energies slowing down in the second house of income and values. What that means is over the course of the next 4 to 5 months, it's almost like you have to put extra effort in to make things happen, or earn an income, or watching your investments in some way. That's what it means. But it's also about your belief systems. It's really testing your belief system. Is this what I really want? Is that what I really don't want? And eventually, in a couple of months, Saturn and Neptune will backtrack one more time in Pisces. So it's going to have you questioning everything once again. And with Uranus in Gemini, boy, are you going to be overthinking things. It's just the way the energy works, friends. Okay, so again, very general, but I'm giving you an overview. Now, Mercury will be the 3rd planet to go retrograde this month, right here, in the 6th house of work and service and health. And so with Mercury retrograde for 3 weeks, it's going to have you, again, questioning your well-being, creative endeavors from the past, your job or your career in some way, how you're seen in the public. And so this is where the energy starts getting weird. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's going to get a little weird and wonky, because now at this point we have 4 planets retrograde: Mercury, your ruler, Venus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto. And so this is where it's a push and pull kind of energy this month. Now, there is some good news. The sun enters Leo, also in that 6th house, so it's going to lend some light and positive energy, because that's Leo's very positive energy, into the 6th house. So you might find yourself being very creative at this point. Not only do you have the creativity of Jupiter here, but now the sun is in a very creative sign. And so this could be your daily routine. Maybe you're starting an exercise program. Maybe you're changing your health habits, especially with the new moon in Leo. It's going to be at 2 degrees, so wherever that is in your birth chart. And so this is going to be very important as well. It's suggesting change your routine, change your eating habits, start an exercise program, focus on, your well-being, focus on other people's well-being. That's what it's suggesting here. And so there's plenty of positive energy with the Leo energy here in the 6th, even though we have 4 planets in retrograde. It just means it opens up a doorway to the past as a doorway to the future opens up, okay? And so that's going to be very important. And finally, at the end of the month, on the 30th and 31st, we have Venus entering Cancer as well. And this is in the 5th house. So this could be very important for new projects, or having more fun, or again, real estate matters. Maybe you're remodeling your home. Maybe you're thinking about painting. Maybe you're spending more time with your children or your family. And this is what this suggests. Now, in August, Venus is definitely going to be interacting with some of these other planets, and I'll talk about that next month. But this month, you've got this mixed bag of energy coming in, and you'll have to make some choices and overthink some stuff because of Uranus. Anyway, there's the general overview. If you want to know more, as you can see here, I do an extended version of this horoscope in my Inner Circle community. I left a link down below. And in there, I teach astrology. We talk about what's going on, current events and trends. And members get to ask me questions. I look over some charts for them and answer a question or two for them. But more importantly, we get together every Sunday on the Zoom calls, and we have a lot of fun and talk about what's going on and a lot of input. So consider joining. There's a free 7-day trial, so there's no obligation. Anyway, hope to see you there. Have a great month, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.